Hi guys, Kelsey here. Doing a review on the movie Dangerous Lies, recently released by Netflix starring Riverdale actress Camilla Mendes. I'll be going through the film's plot that centers around the caretaker receiving an inheritance when the old man she was taking care of dies, and the twists and turns that the movie takes us through from there on. Hope you guys stick around and click subscribe to hear more from me. In this review, I'll be giving a recap and share with you my thoughts and my overall take of the movie and how it could have elevated its mystery thriller vibe. To start off, Dangerous Lies is dangerously bad. It falls short to provide us with a good murder mystery that will keep you on your toes, and compelling enough characters to keep you at least invested in how the story will end. The film starts with our main character Katie, played by Camilla Mendes, who works as a waitress at a diner where she is currently serving food to a customer who is also her husband Adam, who is currently studying in the hopes of getting a good corporate job when he graduates. They both go have a break and have some fun time in Adam's car, only to return in the diner with a robbery situation. Adam goes on to help, successfully hitting the robber with a kitchen pan and saving the day. The incident forces the diner to close down and Katie to look for a new job. 4 months later, she is now a caretaker for an 88-year-old man named Leonard, who she becomes close to. One day, after a fight with Adam as she pressures him to find a job to pay for their loans, she goes to Leonard's to clear her head, where she confides to the old man regarding their money problems. To help her out, Leonard hires Adam as a gardener and pays Katie a $7,000 check that she was at first hesitant to encash, but ended up doing so with Adam's insistence. The following day, Katie finds Leonard dead in his attic, where they find him holding a key that leads them to discover hidden cash in an antique treasure chest worth around $100,000. With their pressing issues on cash, Adam being rejected in the job he applied for months ago, and Katie unable to find a new employer until the case on Leonard's death is closed, the couple ends up stealing the cash. With Leonard having no family, Katie pays for his funeral where they meet attorney Julia Byron Kim, played by actress Jamie Chung, who shares with the couple that Leonard has left his entire estate and fortune with Katie. This shocks the couple, who immediately moves into Leonard's house. It's basically like winning the lottery just when they needed it the most. But unlike Katie, who takes a more conservative approach and wants to take things one at a time, Adam goes on a shopping spree. He acts more obsessed over their newfound fortune, thinking of ways on how to live more luxuriously, and even thought of tax evasion based on things he's watched on the internet. He goes on to buy a new expensive watch without letting Katie know, and later on buys 2 new phones because they needed privacy given the creepy things that have been happening and the pressure the couple is getting over their very good fortune. First, Mickey Hayden, a real estate agent who's been wanting to get the house for his so-called client, has gone back to the property, pressuring Katie to sell the house to the point of threatening. He has also been following Adam and Katie every time they go to the bank, to which Adam notices later on. Second, someone calls Adam to go down the police station to get another statement from him given the robbery incident in the diner Katie used to work in, only to find out that no one from the police has called him and the suspect in the robbery is dead. Third, Katie's employer came banging on their front door after finding out that Katie has violated their agency policy by first taking advantage of Leonard and convincing him to hire her husband, which is not allowed, and second, accepting the $7,000 Leonard gave Katie on her last paycheck before Leonard died. If that is not enough, Katie finds a dead body with a bag full of diamonds in the garage. This overwhelms Katie to the point that she doesn't want any of Leonard's fortune. She goes on to tell Adam the cheesiest line ever, that they don't need any of this as long as they have each other. Adam thinks otherwise, despising the poor life they've lived. And as if things could not get any worse, Katie's employer creeps into Leonard's house late at night, going up the staircase to their bedroom. Adam takes out his gun, ready to shoot, but before he does, Katie's employer slips on the staircase and falls, hitting his head and ended up dying. What a convenient way to get rid of a possible problem for the couple. This calls the attention of the police, where they meet Detective Chester again, the same detective assigned to Leonard's case. As all detectives do in a murder mystery movie, Detective Chester does her own digging and investigation on the couple, and goes to have some girl chat with Katie, warning her not to allow Adam to bring her down with him. Sooner or later, Adam is going to screw up. It's only a matter of time. Don't let him take you down with him. You come to me. What a way to instill confidence on someone by suspecting her husband. She goes on to detail all the suspicions she has on Adam. First, what a weird coincidence that Leonard has died in his sleep, and how she found about the will only after Leonard's cremation, leaving the detective with no body to investigate, insinuating some kind of orchestration is happening. Second, isn't it strange that Adam was coincidentally in the diner during the robbery? And lastly, does a guy named Ray Gaskin sound familiar? He's actually the guy who robbed the diner, who also works as a janitor in the same university Adam used to go to before. Connecting the dots, this pushes Katie to ask help from attorney Julia Byron Kim to make sure that both her and Adam are safe, given all the crazy things that have been happening ever since they inherited Leonard's house. She comes clean to Julia, bringing her to the security deposit bank to show the money she and Adam stole at the start of the film, only to find all the money gone. This gives reason for Julia to drive further suspicion on Adam, saying that he might be running away and leaving her behind. She tells Katie to make sure Adam is in the house and to call her when they're both there. Katie gets home surprised to find Adam, thinking that he was going to leave her and run away. Adam hurries Katie, telling her to pack her essentials so they could leave this place. He also reveals that Mickey Hayden, who's been bugging Katie, is not really a licensed real estate agent, but rather a guy who was just released from prison after robbing $3 million worth of diamonds in a jewelry store. And the dead guy they found in their garage with a bag of diamonds is his accomplice who was never found. Katie then goes to call Julia to tell her Adam doesn't plan to leave her, when Mickey Hayden suddenly grabs her with a gun, asking where his diamonds are. This confirms Adam's findings on Hayden. Both Adam and Hayden have a shootout where they both end up killing each other. Katie immediately rushes to Adam, who whispers where the diamonds are, in the garden. This doesn't really give her much, given the diamonds could be anywhere in the massive garden of Leonard's property. Julia then conveniently arrives, comforting Katie, seeing what just happened. She goes on telling her client that they need to find the diamonds, as this is the only way to explain everything without implicating her. Katie, still focused on trying to understand what happened, figures out that Hayden must have been the one who killed Leonard by overdosing the old man with his pills. On top of this, Katie pieces together that Hayden must have been the guy Leonard hears at night, as he has been looking for the diamonds in the house. Julia fills in the gap of Katie's stories, and in her frustration reveals herself as an accomplice to the diamond heist, to which Katie catches on when Julia mentions the worth of the diamonds. Julia goes on to reveal that she spent 10 years as a public defender, where she learned of Mickey Hayden's case. In exchange for a cut of the diamonds, she helped shorten his sentence in prison. She traced his accomplice Ethan Doyle back to when he worked for Leonard but couldn't find him. Hayden got impatient and decided to kill Leonard with overdose on medication, and to cover up for him, Julia created a fake will to get into the house. With all that said, Julian gets Hayden's gun and threatens Katie to tell her where the diamonds are. Katie doesn't know where and defiantly goes to tell Julia that she wouldn't tell even if she did. And with this show's good timing, Detective Chester arrives just in time to catch on what is happening. She shoots Julia and saves the day. We fast track to 4 months later, where we find a pregnant Katie in the garden being visited by Detective Chesler, updating Katie of clearing Adam's name given everything that has happened. Katie and Detective Chesler hug it out like best friends, where Katie tells her that she still has not found the diamonds. Detective Chesler leaves with the film ending, zooming into one of the trees in the garden where the diamonds are. Dangerous Lies is a very frustrating film. The whole mystery is not really built around a very thoughtful plan, nor is it behind a very interesting motive. It's basically about a diamond heist done by not so smart people, with their main characters just being collateral damage. With this said, what are my key takeaways from this movie? First, a lot of things would have been prevented if Katie and Adam actually learns how to tighten up security and lock their doors. Katie's boss wouldn't have slipped in the house at night, and they could have prevented the whole shooting scene between Mickey Hayden and Adam, and he could have survived. Second, speaking of Adam, he is an annoying character. He quit school and feels no pressure to get a job despite their piling money problems. He is irresponsible and lazy, recklessly spending the cash they have, and is actually the driver of almost all the bad decisions the couple makes. First, stealing the $100,000. Second, encashing the $7,000 check. And third, not calling the police when they found Ethan Doyle's body and the bag of diamonds. Third, The bad guys are not so smart, and even the movie admits that. Who goes on pretending to be a real estate agent without even using a fake name to cover up his identity as a convicted felon? That's Mickey Hayden for you. Who goes to waste a 10-year career as an attorney to partner with a guy you know isn't very bright in the first place? That's attorney Julia Byron Kim for you. And lastly, the character of Detective Chesler could have been more utilized versus being a plot device to move things along and tie things up when the movie needed to end. Overall, the movie just falls flat of the expectations I had with a cast with such a strong following. 80% of the movie tries but fails to build up the suspense, while the last 20% sums up the whole story, making you realize too late that you've just wasted your time. The movie is definitely worth skipping. The foundation from the very start was already shaky, with lackluster characters who didn't have the charm and intrigue I expect from a murder mystery type of film. It lacks an interesting plot and intelligent planning and execution from our characters. The ending does not provide any sort of satisfaction of justice being served, nor sympathy over Adam's death. I would have found myself more annoyed if he survived to live off the wealth of the old man he didn't really care for. I hope I saved everyone an hour and 30 minutes of having to go through this film. I hope you guys had fun with this review. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about films, consider liking this video and subscribe for more content. Again, this is Kelsey and looking forward to seeing you in the next one.